Session of the Riel Community Committee. I'm joined in this chamber this morning by Councillor Matt Allard and Councillor Brian Mays. We're also here with our clerk, Mr. Zachary Mohan. I would like to start by acknowledging that we are located on Treaty 1 territory, the ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, the Cree, Oji-Cree, Dene, and Dakota people, and the birthplace of the Red River Métis Nation. The water that we drink is sourced from Shoal Lake 40, located in Treaty 3 territory. I'd like to have somebody adopt the minutes from our last meeting of January 6th? 7th.
So moved.
All those in favor? Opposed, carried. And we'll not seeing any delegations. We'll move right into reports. And our first report, citizen member appointments.
Yeah, this one's on me. I think I wanted to rescind an appointment because that person had already been appointed. I got confused. And then I have a substitute appointment. So two motions.
Correct, yes.
Okay, so I'm,
First will be the rescinding.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
and who am I'm rescinding?
So that will be the
Non-NIMBY.
appointment of Anjou
Right,
Bajaj
Anjou
on,
Bajaj, okay.
at the January 7th.
Okay, I'll move to rescind that appointment as we'd all previously appointed said person.
Yeah. Mr. Chair, I think that is a motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
And I'll move to name Mario Bertrand, who's a young guy who I think grew up in Councillor Allard's ward, now lives in my ward, I believe, doing some work with our local MP, so had expressed an interest in this, so we'll, anyway, I'll move to appoint Mario Bertrand to Rail Library.
Met him 2 weeks ago. Nice young man. He's 21 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Extension of time subdivision, Moore Avenue.
And it's Saint Vital Day here at the old ranch. Lots of Saint Vital items here. I thought Mr. Winthrop was going to be here today.
We have received no delegation notice,
Okay.
however, we do have somebody from Realty to speak, Jessica Cusera.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we should probably get the rationale if they're, she's on the line?
She's on Zoom, yes.
Yeah, because I mean, my concern here is I'd assumed when we went to sell this land, which was loaded with some conditions about paving lanes, and we did a whole zoning approval, I'd assumed title transferred and the purchaser took on the risk. It turns out, A, title has never transferred, and B, purchaser hasn't satisfied the conditions. And you don't, when you're trying to sell your house, you don't wait 6 years for a purchaser to satisfy conditions. This is land, it's city-owned land, we could have housing on there. Anyway, I'm trying to work out something with Mr. Winthrop to his credit. So yeah, if we could hear from the public service on my musings then, make sure I'm stating things factually. Yep.
Okay. Right here.
Good morning, councillors. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So Councillor Mays, you are correct. The development application was a condition of the sale, so the property does not transfer until the DAS is registered. The purchaser signed the offer in August 2020, and the sale was approved by SPCPD in January 2021. So if this extension is not granted, they would no longer be compliant with the offer to purchase that was approved.
Okay.
Okay. To quote Mike Pagdican, I'm a patient man, but I'm running out of patience with this. Like this has been, it's full 5 years. That said, Mr. Winthrop had a pretty good scheme plan to try and work this thing out, which I liked. So let's lay it over one more time, and hopefully we can see if Mr. Winthrop's clients shared our view that this was a good plan, and if they don't have the money or the interest in doing it, I'm not going to move the extension, because this is 5 years, and let's get somebody who actually wants to build a house on there. I know Habitat put in an offer many years ago, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I'll move, thank you, Jess, for that. I'll move I'll move an extension of time to our next meeting then.
So we're going to adjourn it to February 20th.
Indeed.
Okay.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. All right, on to item 3. Another San Vital.
Yeah, another, I think, yeah, this is a pleasant surprise, narrowing the gap a bit with Councillor Allard on these pavings this term. So yeah, this isn't part of the ward that really needs this kind of work, so pleased to see, I think Mr. Winthrop may even have been out there campaigning for this one as he has some clients nearby. So yeah, happy to, this is, the objections didn't get the votes they needed, the signatures, so the recommendation from the Public Service is to move forward. I support that recommendation, so I'll move the Winnipeg Public Service recommendation.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay, we have 2 addendum items. Do we need a motion to suspend the rules?
Correct, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
We have 4 addendum items, don't we?
Yes, we have.
I'll move a motion to suspend the rules.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay,
Mr. Clerk, would you read the motion for?
okay,
that now? I mean, I'm not in any
No,
rush.
I will yield the chair to Councillor Allard.
Okay, I'm in the chair.
Because number 4 is mine. So this is a pleasure rink that is built by Terrence Mattising and Adam Spears, former pro golfer. They build a pleasure rink just at the Aldgate Park there, close to Aldgate Street. Or sorry, John Forsyth Park by Aldgate Street. So they've been doing this for the last 4 or 5 years now. So this is a reimbursement, a land dedication reserve fund, about $2,000 or just over $2,000 for this purpose.
Okay,
So,
so.
or
let's
waiving
vote.
of the rules or the criteria for
Yeah,
how they are.
So, Mr. Clerk, is that clear to you? I move,
correct.
Motion
It's-
from Councillor Chambers.
Yep, and just for the record, so we're just going to suspend, waive the criteria, that being criteria is 1 and, sorry, let me just pull that up. 1 and 3 for the amount of $2,488.02, and that will be then forwarded to the Executive Policy Committee.
Okay, so moved, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Contrary carried.
And I'll take the chair back.
Okay,
City play structures.
Councillor Mays?
Those of you who thought you'd heard the last of school play structures.
Oh, I'm never
This
thinking that.
is a motion I am putting forward as part of my task force on school play structures. We have the odd situation where we have some city play structures right on school property. Darwin, Vic Wyatt, we have city play structures immediately adjacent to school property, like HS Paul School. I am told Hatcher School, I'm not sure, Harold Hatcher maybe school in Transcona, the play structure straddles the property line. Not sure of that one, but hopefully that'll get, anyway, the motion is to get some research done. We all get these reports. This actually shouldn't be that hard. We all get our ward reports. Somebody just needs to shave out, take a day and figure out which ones are either on school property or close there too, and we can, this will help us while we're waiting for the Minister of Education to make some decisions about school play structure funding, this is the least we can do is get our data together and see if we can do something. So, I think this moves up to property and development, seems odd. Did we change that?
Sorry, after further consultation, since this will be a park amenity, it will be going to the Standing Policy Committee on Community Services, yes.
Okay, sounds good. So I'll move then that it goes up to community services.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried. And then we have 2 more motions.
Yep.
One from Brian Mays and one from Matt Allard.
Councillor Mays, you want to continue?
I'll move that the students at Collège Jean Sauvé, which is Saint Vital, Councillor Chambers is part of Saint Vital, a little bit south of my part of Saint Vital, they are celebrating Black History Month with an event later this month, and Councillor Chambers and I are prepared to split the cost of the guest speaker, guest performer, I think, who's coming in, so we would equally split through per capita 400, was my math there, right? There's a 450 plus 5% I had is 472.50. Close
I
enough.
can do the
We'll-
calculation, but-
We'll split,
Okay, so it's gonna be the amount of $472.50, and that being split in half from the two wards, St. Norbert, St. River, and St. Vital ward.
So the only proviso to that is that I get an invitation to whatever they're hosting.
I cannot fault you for that. I will make that happen.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
And then, Mr. Clerk, would you read the motion
Of course.
for Vandal?
Okay, so we have a motion from Councillor Allard, St. Boniface Ward, and the motion reads as, whereas the Bonnie Vital Pool located at 1215 Archibald Street has served as a primary recreational hub for the residents of St. Boniface and St. Vital since its establishment, and whereas the Honorable Dan Vandal, a proud Red River Métis, has dedicated over 26 years to public service, including 5 terms as the City Councillor for St. Boniface, service as Deputy Mayor of the City of Winnipeg, and over a decade representing the constituency of St. Boniface, St. Vital in the House of Commons, and whereas Dan Vandal's career has been characterized by tireless commitment to urban renewal, the development of the Aboriginal Youth Strategy, and the enhancement of public spaces that foster community health and connection, therefore be it resolved that the Real Community Committee recommend to the Standing Policy Committee on Community Services that the Winnipeg Public Service be directed to report back on the feasibility of renaming the Bonnie Vital Pool to the Dan Vandal Pool in honor of his significant and lifelong contributions to the City of Winnipeg and the St. Boniface community.
All right, so I'd like to move that, and hopefully it sees success at the council level, because I think all in 27 years of public service, and whether he likes it or not, I've said that I consider him my political mentor. So we have very different styles, but I did learn a lot from him.
Implicit would be that it would be the Bonnie Vital Pool, PC, or Dan Vandal.
Oh.
The French would be implicit in this, or?
Yeah,
do we
no,
want-
let's make it explicit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one, yeah.
Yes. What are the words?
Piscine?
Maybe that. Okay, let's just check the city website.
Friendly
Yeah.
amendment there.
City of Winnipeg website.
So right at the end, I think, Zach, whatever.
We probably already have it on the website, I would imagine.
I would think.
Bonnie Vital Pool. Location. Français. This is like a moment of truth kind of thing.
If they have the signage at the St. Vital one, surely they have one at the Bonnie Vital.
Well, for now, let's just say Bonnie Vital Pool, and then I will do a quick translation on it. Make sure it's idiomatic. Piscine. Apologies. You know what? I know it's piscine.
It's PC.
Piscine. Yeah.
Okay, have that added in.
The machine translated tool didn't work, so. All right,
Okay, so Dan Vandal Pool,
Piscine,
Piscine.
Bonnie Vital. Cool.
To Dan Vandal.
Piscine, Dan Vandal, Bonnie Vital Pool.
Vandal, Bonnie.
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so changing that last part, therefore, be resolved. So the feasibility of renaming the Piscine Bonnie Vital Pool to the Piscine Dan Vandal Bonnie Vital Pool.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay,
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, carried.
Move
Okay,
adjournment.
before we adjourn.
Oh,
We gotta thank Zach, who I think this is your last meeting with us, so we
Zach.
gotta keep you around here. We'll
Thank you,
keep you around City Hall.
Yeah.
What,
By
wait,
the
thank you,
way-
councillors. Yes, this will be my last meeting clerking Real, as February 20th, I will be away in Alberta for a meeting, so yes, this is our last time together.
Okay.
Sorry,
Get,
It's been fun.
It's been a pleasure, councillors, I greatly appreciate the time.
absolutely, we
Good
gotta
time,
keep,
not a long time.
We gotta keep you around, Zach. We'll get Carlos on that. So,
Thank you, councilors.
All righty.
Okay, so I'll move to adjourn now.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. We stand adjourned or sit adjourned, whatever.